This is Hannah, and I'm going to be critiquing the Narrative Part 1 photo by Tiana Hempel. In this photo, she effectively uses multiple different types of elements and principles, and she does them quite well. First off, she uses the lines of the bedding and the lines from the blinds very plainly in this picture. How the lines of the light coming through the blinds shine on the face, the pillow, and the bottle shown in the picture. She uses texture in this picture with the light bringing in texture of her sweatshirt, texture of the pillow, and then space. She uses space really well in this picture, with the space next to her on the bed kind of like there was a person there before and they were replaced by the bottle, and also how the bottle is empty kind of reflects saying how like the soul is empty too of the person based off what they have lost by the bottle that now occupies their bed. And so that's a really good use of that space too. The value of her colors is very dark. It's very contrasted with the light from the blinds, with the darkness of the pillow next to her head and her hair, casting light onto her face, showing a very saddened look on the person's face, with the bottle that's very brightly lit, in contrast to her face and how the mood is kind of set. The balance of this picture is kind of towards the left a little bit. It kind of tilts, kind of like she could slide right off to the left. So it kind of gives a little uneasiness to the feeling of the picture. Also, with the bottle, she's probably intoxicated, so I think that probably was meant to be like that, a little off balance, a little bit. Even if it wasn't, that off balance feeling really does add to what the picture is trying to say, which I like a lot. The weight of the picture has the natural bottom pull. She uses figure ground really well, with the foreground being really empty, the midground being the bottle, and then the saddened person in the background. Kind of like the bottle is front and center, and she really puts emphasis on that bottle, and then the person is kind of like the background. She does that really well. Alright, this picture, in my mind, is about this girl in this picture with a drinking problem, and how it's replaced probably all the happiness in her life with this bottle, and it controls her. And she has like a protective hand on the bottle, so it's like she's guarding it rather than herself, even though it looks like she could be crying or grimacing. And like I said, with the spacing, how this could have had a person in it at one point, and now that person is replaced with the bottle. So it's kind of like a drinking story gone bad, is what this picture is about. Someone struggling with something, but they're still protecting that struggle, so that's insecurity, even though her face shows that she knows it's wrong and she wants to break through that. And that's a really powerful concept she has going here, and I think she portrays it really well. Especially with the dark coloring, it really brings the mood down, and you can like really tell that she's in a really dark place, and she portrays that really well in this picture. A couple things I would maybe change. I would lighten up the contrast just a little bit, just so we could get more detail in her face, and maybe a little more detail everywhere else, because the strict blacks and grays and whites kind of take away from some of the detail that we can see. But other than that, I think the darkness really does bring a lot to it, so maybe tweaking it would kind of lose that a little bit. But Maybe playing with the color just to see if you can get some more of that detail on her face and like more detail in the bottle. Since it is clear, you're going to lose some of that solidness of it. But yeah, just playing with the color a little bit more. It's still keeping that darkness to keep the mood. But other than that, really, really nice picture. Good job.